Oh, hi, Lien Bui. I'm not too well tonight, so I'm not going to speak much. Just doing some tourists and some rescue contracts. That's all. I'm just looking for something else to listen to a bit. Hi, Wen. Yeah, it's nice seeing you again. Hang on, let me just pause what I was listening to. Yeah, I'm not going to be streaming for too long tonight. Oh, you just completed your finals. Well done. Well done. Yeah, there's a lot of people doing finals and that. Science, 85%. Maths, 97%. Nice. I'll have that in what was it, 4 years' time? Oh, we lost our target. Where is it? Lost our target. We've got 23 meters per second to make up. Yeah, I've filled in an application form to go back to college. So I did get Juno Neurogens on my computer now since I was more affordable. Status. Yeah, status works tonight. It wasn't working the other night. Where are we? We're upside down. There you go. So we've got 2 Kerbals to rescue. Why were they stranded? It's a contract because I selected 2 contracts to pick up stranded Kerbals. The Kerbals are from different space agencies and not our own space agency. So there'll usually be another space agency flag on the side of their wreckage if their wreckage has any flags at all. And then once we get these Kerbals, it took me 5 hours to get to orbit because of a career mode limitation. Because you can't get access to all the parts. Was that in Juno or was that in something else? This is career. Yeah, this is career mode, right? This is why I'm taking on these contracts in order to get money, because when the money is a factor in career mode. There's our money. Oh, where is it? There. That's our money. And the graph up here, I've got and the Python script that does this graph is our cash over time, in-game cash over time. Yeah, I haven't seen Juno, to be honest. I haven't looked at it, so. Okay, I'm trying to the flatter bit of the pod. That's what I'm trying to hook onto. I like how you don't have to use external scripts because Juno has its own programming language. Oh, okay. Is that for mods and things? Similar to Scratch. Oh, right. So you can automate launches. Oh, okay. That would be useful. That would be useful if it was there from the start. No, that kind of more realistic these days. You know, where launches are automated. Though there are mods in Kerbal to do that sort of thing. In fact, I could write something myself because I got this little thing, KPRC, which allows the Kerbal game to communicate with Python scripts and other languages outside of the game. And you can automate stuff with that. Though I'd like to keep my competencies and do things manually. It's like the Kerbal chat up here. I don't know how easy it is to read. Hang on, let me check that. Because it's a bit hard to read, isn't it? That's powered by a Python script. Do we do re-entry now? Yeah, we do re-entry now. We've got the Kerbal. There's the Kerbal we're rescuing. So that's what we're doing. We're going to re-enter now. I'll press F5 to do a quick save in case anything goes wrong. I do the re-entry burn between these two, the mountain ranges, and 75 to 88. 88 is upper axis, 75 is lower axis. I usually do like 81, 82. It's fine. It's fine. We can do it from there. Where's us? Yeah, we're going to re-enter now, and then we've got another Kerbal who's stuck in orbit. We've got two Kerbals stuck. How thin is Kerbin atmosphere? It's 70,000 meters, so it's not big. It's like 1/6 the size of Earth. It's much smaller. It's 70,000 meters. So right, if I do the deorbit burn, as soon as the periapsis gets under 70,000 meters, that's when it's dipping into the atmosphere, and it's not a gradated. What's the word? Graduated atmosphere. It's actually a hard limit at 70,000. That's one of the limitations of the Kerbal engine. It's a hard limitation at 70,000. Although it does get thinner as you go down, but it just automatically stops at 70,000. There's no like stray drag at higher altitudes like there would be in real life. It's like as long as your periapsis is over 70,000, you're always going to stay in orbit. Whereas in real life, over time, you got a tiny bit of atmosphere up there, and you'll still get a tiny bit of drag. So it's thinner than Earth, I'm assuming. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's much, much thinner. But thinner as in thickness from top to bottom, not thinner as in the density of air. It's all simulated anyway. which is how you manage not to use shields. Yeah, what I'm doing, because I don't use shields because I'm coming from low Kerbin orbit. Yeah, exactly. In real life, even if you're coming from low orbit, you tend to need shields. The thing with launch vehicles to bring themselves back, they haven't gone high enough and fast enough to need it, and that's the sort of thing I'm doing here. Whereas if I was doing, say, like I'm doing a re-entry from 75 to 80,000 meters, whereas if we did a re-entry from 100,000 meters, then we would need a shield. We would need a heat shield or an ablative heat shield or something. Because we'd be coming back that much faster. So I'm already coming back from a low orbit, so I'm going a slow orbit anyway. Though I've often wondered, in real life, could you have something that's got so much drag it slows down? I don't know. There's probably some physics. Like the Virgin Galactic things, the scaled composites aircraft. It feathers its wings at high altitude in order to slow itself, so it does a re-entry, but it's going slow enough to re-entry that doesn't need. Yeah, we're going to miss our target. We're going to come over the mountains or something. Oh well. The Kerbal's stuck in the mountains. I'm not going to pick it. I'll just do a straight recovery. I'm not going to try and get a vehicle out there to rescue them. They're too far away. Though I have had aircraft over here at one point. Yeah, I would have liked them to land closer to KSC, the Space Center, but this is okay. Oh, they're going to roll downhill, are they? There we go, we'll recover them from there. There's another thing where you can make staging mistakes, is there? Right, let's go get the other Kerbal. Launch another one. We'll grab that other Kerbal and we'll bring them back. I've got like 5 or 6 launch stages in orbit we've got to bring back as well, but I'm not going to do that tonight. Right, let's go and grab the other Kerbal. My rocket. Haven't you seen what my rocket? Well, haven't you seen this one before? I'm willing to bet this has a high thruster weight. It has a decent thruster weight. Remember, the launch stage gets flown back, and we've just got the Kerbal deorbiter at the front. Yes, you have. Yeah, because I mean, I've had this rocket for a long time. I've had several different versions of it, and it's been going around for a very long time. The design, I mean, I've had the design for a long time. Yeah, we're slightly nose down so that I can extend the orbit so that we don't have to do such a long burn once we're up at altitude at the apoapsis in order to circularize if you do a little nose down by here, if you've got the spare delta V. Hello, Cryptic. I don't plan to be streaming for too long tonight. I mean, how long are we streaming for? An hour and 3 minutes. Okay, we're streaming for longer than I expected, actually. Because I got lots of things to do tonight, this week. So I thought I'll just go on and just to maintain competencies, I'll just do a little bit of Kerbal. That's what I'm doing now. How are you, Cryptic, anyway? No Kerbals replied. It's because you had an exclamation mark. So if we type in hello, hang on. I'm just looking at the yeah, see the probe core has said welcome. I don't know if you can see it up here. Thumbs up. Okay. So I need to make sure that the Kerbal greetings can read hello with an exclamation mark. I was working on another Kerbal mod earlier. The mod I was working on is when you have the loading screens when you have the black loading screens when we're changing scenes, you know, like we're recovering to KSC or something, and it's got the loading in the bottom right. I was experimenting with seeing if we can have pictures or a slideshow on the screen, but I couldn't get it working satisfactorily, so I didn't do it. So I didn't. I've actually uninstalled that mod I was working on. Where are we? 69. 70. So now it's over 70. Oh, it's not quite over 70. There you go. But yeah, before you came here, Cryptic, Wen was asking about what's the height of the atmosphere. There's 70. So that I can do a warp now, and it won't do a physics warp, because the warp you do inside the atmosphere is a different warp outside the atmosphere. It uses the physics engine differently, and it's safer to do it outside the atmosphere. That'd be cool if you could get that working. Yeah, because, you know, when we've had streams going for 2-3 hours, the loading screen gets longer and longer. It's just a feature or a bug with Kerbal, isn't it? And the loading screen gets longer and longer. And if we could have pictures, you know, just on a screen, it just makes it a bit more interesting. All right, see you later, Wen. Right, yeah. the loading screen would be a bit more interesting. What I did, I prepared a bunch of my pictures, because I don't know if you were here with the end of the stream last night. Was it last night or the night before? Where I showed some of my Concorde pictures, because when I used to work in aviation. And yeah, I prepared a bunch of my aviation pictures, things that might be interesting to people. So they would come up on the screen during the loading if I can get this mod to work. Because there are mods to change the loading screen at the beginning when Kerbal is loading, but not when you're changing scenes. Though I do know some mod authors who could probably help. Right, we've got one more Kerbal to rescue, and then I might. I know we've got lots of launch stages in orbit, including that one to deorbit, but then I'll go and do some other things tonight. Yeah, I'm just taking on a couple of contracts just to. Oh, not viewing tracking station. That's not what I meant. Clicked the wrong thing. Yeah, see this loading screen. See, it takes a while. It takes a couple of seconds. And if we could have a picture there on that screen. That's the probe. That's the one. Orbit lift. That's the one. You know, this loaded screen, if we can have a picture here, and the mod I was working on would have a caption underneath as well. So I had some pictures. I've prepared some pictures anyway. I've prepared some pictures. So I've just got to try and get it to work. What it was, the bug I was having, the problem I was having with it, it was only showing one picture, and it was only showing it momentarily as at the end of the loading screen. And I've uninstalled it now to do this stream, but that's something we'll try and get working. Because it makes that loading screen a bit more interesting. So I've got some Concorde pictures of 747, bunch of 737s. Me looking out the window of what was it? An Embraer 175 with an Airbus A400M taking off, and just a bunch of pictures like that. Just a bunch of aviation pictures I've taken. Where are we? Where's this Kerbal? Kerbal's over there. Set as target. That's what we need. Set as target. Ascending node. Do a descending burn at the ascending node. Love the Concorde, yeah. I had pictures of BOA-G and BOA-C. I'm going to use this video as a guide on how to dock, since you can't dock. Okay. So there's a number of people recently on Reddit. There's got to be at least 3 or 4 threads in the past week on Reddit saying, oh, I can't dock. And I've been tempted to make a tutorial myself, actually. I know there's other tutorials, but I'm wondering if it's possible to do one that explains a bit more easily. It's like that maneuver I just did then, I think, is the most critical part where people make the most mistakes, and that's the inclination change. Now make sure the inclination says 0, 0 here. because I think that's the most critical part. Because I know when I was learning to dock, that was the thing that I was always forgetting or messing up on, and I didn't understand. And the other thing was doing the changing your orientation relative to your target as you come alongside. I think that was the other thing. The problem I've got now is our orbits, the target in our current orbit is more or less the same. So I'd like to make it a bit more different because it's going to take us a while to try and get to our target. So where's the periapsis? It's by here. So if I raise the apoapsis up to there, set prograde, it means the orbits are going to be different. So we'll get closer to our target. Or move relative to our target anyway. Set to orbit, go prograde, and hopefully we'll see two separation nodes appear on the patched conics. There we go. Keep going round. Because when you've got these purple nodes and the orange nodes, it means our orbits between your target and yourself is crossing twice. So you're actually crossing this is just an adjustment burn rather than it pre-planned. It's just adjustment because I'm dealing with things as we get into orbit rather than pre-planning the whole maneuver. Because I mean, you can do the whole launch when your target is more or less over you and actually meet it in orbit and use very little fuel. It is possible to do that and pre-plan the whole thing. Right, so that purple node there and this purple node there is the distance between our target and ourselves on the orbit, on our orbits. So if I set this orbital maneuver, right, a couple of orbits in the future. See, now I'm pressing, this is a couple of orbits in the future, so it's not going to do on the next orbit. The points are changing, so we're moving closer together. You see? Right, and if we're this side of, oh yeah, at the end of my aircraft only run, I tried to update some mods and everything broke. It's a problem with mods in Kerbal, isn't it? .3. Where's periapsis? Periapsis there. Damn. Yeah, damn. But you see, now set an orbital maneuver so that it'll take us with a separation of just 0.3 on the next orbit after that we've performed that maneuver. The maneuver is just 21.9 seconds. It was unfortunate. Aircraft only runner tried to update some of the mods and everything broke. But now I'm back to making rockets. You're back to rockets. You know, I gotta back up Kerbal more, to be honest. You know, because anything can mess up the whole game. Because I got Kerbal backups. I'm gonna change this maneuver so that that periapsis is getting too close. I think too close to the atmosphere. So I'm gonna change this. Okay, what's next maneuver from there? So we've got 33 meters per second burn. Just scratching a sec. Just doing the burn slowly, because we're aiming to be at the right speed as we pass the nodes. That's what we're aiming for. Okay, there we go, 0, 0. As we pass this, it'll show us our position on the next orbit. And we can adjust if we set our attitude relative to orbit, prograde or retrograde, we can do an adjustment. So we're still quite far out, so that wasn't a perfect maneuver. 12.3 kilometers, so we can put the RCS on as long as we're set relative to orbit, and then we can use the RCS just to adjust it a little bit. There you go, there's 0.1, that's the easiest, really close. Turn RCS off so we don't make a mistake. Sir, have you got any SSTOs? We do have an SSTO. It doesn't work 100%. We're working on it. Was it a stream? Wasn't last night's stream, was it? Or was it the stream before? It was earlier this week when we were working on an SSTO. If you have a look at some of the earlier, the other live streams we've done this week, we have been working on an SSTO, but it doesn't work 100% yet. So right, we're past on our next orbit. We're going to be 0.1 kilometers away. So what we're going to do, we're going to set our attitude relative to target and retrograde. So the idea is when we come here and we come to the closest pass to our target, closest pass, then we'll do a burn to come alongside it to reduce our speed relative to target, and that'll put us into the same speed that our target is in orbit. If that makes any sense, I'm trying to find a better way of explaining this. So I tend to warp to here so we can see as we get closer to our target. There's a target there. So the speed underneath is not the speed we're in orbit, it's our speed relative to the target. So that's our difference in speed. We need to lower that to 0 because that's the difference in speed between us and our target. Hopefully SSTOs work. Yeah, we'll try and get it to work. But I'm thinking about trying to, was it Gary Blue suggested it the other night, and I have tried it before, and how to have an SSTO that takes off horizontally. But I couldn't get that working. I tried that years ago. And I did a long stream building another SSTO years ago on Twitch. Oh, okay. Oh, we're going to be getting closer now. There we go. So we're aiming to be at 0 difference in speed as we're alongside. That's what we're aiming for. It's not actually physically possible to get perfect 0 because this has only got like 1 decimal point. We would actually be in a different speed, because if you're at the same speed, we'll be at perfectly the same orbit. But then we're a slightly different inclination. Yeah, forget about what I just said. All right, let's get this Kerbal back. So now we can use RCS to move in closer. See, I'm looking at the nav ball now. The green is the direction we're going. They're actually travelling, and the purple is the direction to our target. So you can move this around with translation controls. Got them. Right, because this is a command pod, then I'll go back to control from our probe core, because that gives us our attitude relative to the engine. Press T again to turn SAS back on. Retrograde relative to orbit. Press F5. Do gyros work as well? Yeah, there's gyros. I mean, under the parachutes here, I got a big inline stabilizer, which is it's just a bunch of reaction wheels are in there. So that's got a bunch of reaction wheels. Also, now we've grappled this pod. I believe this pod's got reaction wheels. Yeah, reaction wheels running. And there's tiny reaction wheels in the probe core. Because I mean, it moves quite. So it's only a little thing. It's not much mass here, so it moves quite well on just the reaction wheels alone. Whereas if it was bigger and had more mass, then we'd have to have different, like, use more RCS or bigger reaction wheels or more reaction wheels. Right, our orbit's at 88 to 84, which I think is good enough to come back from orbit with. Look for our deorbit burn spot. Press out. I keep pressing F5 to make sure we've got a quick save. Warp to there. Got to go between those two mountain ranges, and then we'll bring them back. Warp again. F5. Cool. I really need to learn how to explain things better. Like, I'm not Scott Manley. Yeah, because the numbers are red there. We're getting physics errors. I think we got too much in the game at the moment. We're going to have to try and deorbit some stuff. We could do that. We just have a whole stream of just deorbiting stuff. I mean, we got stuff outside of the Kerbin sphere influence I'd like to bring back. Yeah, I think we're in drink. I think we're in the water. Oh no, we could. Come on, slow down. I can see the Kerbal runway from here. Yeah, we've got to get into the runway. Got to get them to the runway. Closer to the runway is better. I'm going in the right direction. Try and fly it back. Trying to fly it back. Done 2 CubeSat missions. 2 CubeSats. That's what we don't have in Kerbal, is CubeSats. They got CubeSats in Juno. Have they, when? Yeah, and the reason why we have so many parachutes is because this thing is designed to bring back much, much larger stages than just one pod with a Kerbal in it. Career mode only. Oh, hang on, we're on the runway? We're going to be slightly off the runway. Alright, never mind. It's close enough. Close enough. Okay, that'll do. Close enough to the runway. CubeSats are amazing. Yeah, you get the really tiny ones now, haven't you? Get really tiny CubeSats. Yeah, Scott Manley a few weeks ago. Was it a few weeks, maybe 2 weeks ago? He visited some company that makes really tiny CubeSats. We're talking like 3 inches cube, just tiny little things. Oh, yeah, little thing. 98%. We're only a few meters away. 98%. All right, we've done all the contracts we picked up earlier. Okay, all right then. I wasn't planning on doing a long stream tonight. We've been streaming for 1 hour and 30 minutes, so I'm gonna think I'm gonna take a break. Okay, because I got a lot of things to do this week, so I don't know how much streaming I can get in this week. So I'm gonna take a break. So Cryptic, when? Who else? Did we have another chatter earlier? Cryptic, we did have another chatter. Who was chatting? Oh, Lien Bui was someone who came in momentarily when I first started. Just scrolling up through the chats tonight. That's my kitty. Yeah, I'm going to take a break. All right, I'll see you all again. Thank you for watching. What time is it? It's 1:57 in the morning. Okay, good night, good morning.